everyone that's here, this is the program assistant recruitment event. I'm Kai. I'm a current program assistant. I've been on the team for a year now. I'm on the events team. If we could have everyone else go through quickly and then introduce themselves that's on the that works right now, that would be great.
Yeah, I can go next. I'm Kate Anderson. I'm also on the events team, and I'm a senior.
I'm Cindy.
Go ahead, Cindy.
I'm also on the events team, and this is my first semester as a program assistant.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kathy. I'm a sophomore, and I am on the community outreach and engagement team.
Hi, everyone. Go ahead, Jaylene.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jaylene. This is my second semester being a program assistant, and I'm on the program operations team.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alice, and I'm on the marketing team, and this is my fourth semester as a program assistant.
Hey, everyone. I'm Aaron. I'm on the marketing team with Alice. This is my first semester as a programming assistant, and I'm a freshman.
Hi, I'm Lucy. This is my second semester as a grants and funding program assistant, and I'm a senior.
Okay, great. So we're going to go through some slides on the different teams, what each of us do in the BLI. And then at the end, if you have any questions, feel free to ask us that, or you can type them in the chat. We're recording this video so we can then send it out to other people afterwards, or if you want to watch it again. And then we can also share the video that Alice made, either in the email later, or we'll talk about it, but yeah. Okay. So basically, program assistants, our mission is we grow professional identity skills and leadership, right? We work roughly 5 to 10 hours a week, and there are 5 different teams. Each of us have a variety of different requirements, things that we do, and we all work together to basically make BLI run. We work with events. We do all of like leadership lunches, things like that, set up, clean up. Everyone has a weekly meeting that we go to. We had one this morning, but the time depends on the semester. So we work it around everyone's schedules, things like that. And then we do desk duty every week. So you basically just man this front desk for a little bit. And then we also do peer advising and mentoring. Our pay is $13.50 an hour as well. Okay, so if we could have the first team, marketing communications, go, that'd be great. And then just let me know when you want me to switch slides.
Yeah. So for marketing and communications, it's more kind of creative in terms of managing social media accounts. So if you guys see Instagram posts, that's the wonderful Beth, and then Aaron Williams, and then me. Yeah. And then we also update Edit BI's website. So if you're curious about Adobe Experience Management, that's their website system. You get to learn a lot. And so I think for marketing, there is a lot of learning, and you get paid to learn what you want to learn. So that's definitely one of the best things. And design and distribute promotional materials. So if you are really creative, or you just want to become more creative, marketing would be a great place to be. And if Aaron wants to take them.
Yeah. So we also copy, edit, and proofread communications. So basically what that means is we use a service called MailChimp to send weekly newsletters to all of our 800 members. We also promote events going on weekly in these emails, as well as on UM's happening page on Michigan.
So the next team is community outreach and engagement. So if you'd be willing to do this then, please.
Yeah, so I am the PA for community outreach engagement, and I have one other team member, but she's not here right now. We serve as liaisons between the BLI and new and prospective members. So a lot of that looks like is setting up office hours and appointments with students at U of M that are interested in becoming members of the BLI. We also coordinate recruitment events, and so that looks like a lot of tabling at Festival, Winterfest, So Cool, So Just, and as well as that, we also present info sessions about about ALA 175, the leadership lab, to various classes to recruit for enrollment. In addition, we also work with the other PA teams, especially when we have events. So I'll send out one-off emails promoting events such as this info session targeted to new and prospective members. And I also help and create design promotional materials for ALA 175.
Perfect, thank you. So next we have funding. So whenever you're ready.
Yeah, so I'm Lucy again. I'm the Grants and Funding Program Assistant. So a lot of what the Grants and Funding PA does, or the team does, is reading and evaluating the small grants and the project grants. So if you took ALA 170 or 175, you know about the small grants and the project grants. And if you applied to one this year, I most likely, or I did read it and sent back feedback. So working a lot really closely with the leadership lab and the peer facilitators on that side of the BLI to talk about grants and funding. I also do a lot of like funding pitches and to like different events on campus, like through the Center for Campus Involvement, just talking about the BLI and all of our different funding opportunities. And then also just like with more student work for students who are applying to grants, meeting with current BLI members and providing assistance and guidance through that funding process. So that's mostly that.
And then next is the events team.
Yep, I'm good. So within the events team, some of the major events that we help to plan are the leadership lunches and the Detroit retreat, as well as the Distress Fest. So with the leadership lunches, oftentimes we're working on planning, working with caterers, figuring out the location and then the activities of what's going to be happening during the lunches. For Detroit retreat, this semester we spent a lot of time. Every semester or every year we take students in the BLI to Detroit for a retreat, and so this year we were reaching out to speakers and also getting location as well as the hostel situation to plan for the retreat. And for Distress Fest, at the end of the semester we help plan all of the different activities that are offered at the Distress Fest, and also work with catering to figure out what kind of food is offered. So working in events, you get a lot of opportunities to help and plan engaging and fun activities for BLI members. And Kate will go on some more details about it.
Yeah, so like Cindy said, we are kind of all of the background work to make events turn out the way that they do. And so a lot of that is arranging speakers. So you're either calling or sending out emails to talk to prospective speakers for panelists or just for like a leadership lunch. We also figure out catering. Personally, my favorite job, because I get to go look at restaurants all day and kind of figure out how much we need and stay in a budget, things like that. We coordinate volunteers for our events. So the Detroit Retreat and the Distress Fest are kind of larger events, and so we can't always do everything with a 3-person team. So we'll work within the program assistants to get all the help that we need. There's other event logistics, just like table setup, like arrangements, all of that. And then, of course, we get to eat the leftover food. So big perk right there.
Yeah. Just a little bit to add on to that, with like things like leadership lunches, we have actually a lot of creative freedom there to do anything we want to do. So we can do things like we had voter registration day. We can do like Valentine's themed things. We did like Halloween themed stuff. So a lot of times they'll give us like a task, something that we want to do, and then we have as much freedom as we want to within the means of like a budget to do anything like we want to do with that. But yeah. Then program operations.
Okay. Yeah, so again, I'm Jaylene. I'm part of the program operations team. So if you're kind of unsure where you fit into one of the other teams, this is a perfect place for you because you kind of get to do it all. So we jump around to the different teams, kind of filling in the blanks wherever they need help. But there are a couple of things that are very program operations specific. So one of them is snack and chats. So in addition to the leadership lunches that events team was just talking about, we also do snack and chats about once every month. And those are sort of more casual, just hangout times where we talk about different topics. So things like food insecurity or even like budgeting and money management, really a wide range of anything leadership related. We also do a lot of community building activities throughout the student staff. And then more logistically speaking, working with events team and also the academic programs. So like the Japan trip, other access opportunities, the Mindful Leader cohort to put together a timeline of events, supplies, volunteers, event schedules, and then we host weekly office hours. But yeah, this one's kind of very broad, just jumping around to the different teams.
Yeah, so if you're interested in applying, you can apply on the BLI website. I believe it'll be hyperlinked in the slideshow if you want to do that when we share out the slides. Otherwise, I think if you just search on the BLI website, if you go onto the program assistance, you can apply there as well. Applications are now open already. The deadline's by the 29th of April, and you'll get a notification by the 1st of May as to whether or not you have an interview, and then final decisions will be done by mid-May. Yeah. Are there any questions?
So I did see one question asking about how many people we're hiring, I think. And we're looking at 3 to 4 new hires. So for program ops, events team, and grants and funding, all have openings.
And then there was another question. Are the working hours of the job 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.? So it's completely flexible. Whatever works with your schedule, you can create your own hours, and you're expected to work 5 to 10 hours a week, as we said.
Mm-hmm.
But generally, the schedule is between 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. because that's when the students work.
So like the office is open between 9 a.m. and 5 p.m. and you sign up for a schedule, like a chunk of hours in that time frame. So for instance, for events team, since we have events normally on Fridays from like noon or like 1 to 2:30 or something like that, we normally have like a chunk of time around that, and then your weekly meeting is part of that as well, if that makes sense. And in terms of the application, I believe you've put in your top 2 choices or top 3 choices. I know in the interview process you talk about which teams you're more interested in. I'm sure you can generally apply as well. I would have to ask one of the Elizabeths as well on that to confirm, but I'm sure you can apply generally to the PA position and see if there's something that's a better fit for you. But the idea of also like this slideshow is to give you kind of a taste of what all the teams do to see if there's one specifically that you're more interested in. Yes, there is a general application, yes.
Okay, should I answer that first question? So program operations, most of the time, every day looks a little bit different. So it's not that routine. Sometimes we're working a lot with events. If we have a big event coming up that week, working with making kind of a rundown of what the event will look like, or just kind of figuring out what else needs to be done. Other times, like leading up to in the fall, the Mindful Leader cohort retreat, working a lot with recruiting volunteers and kind of coordinating logistically what needs to be happening when is a lot of it.
To answer Suki's question about the interviews, it will be interview questions to get to know a little bit more about you and why you want to become a PA / your experience with the BLI so far.
And this is also a good chance, like during the interview, to say what teams you want or to kind of figure out more about what kind of teams you want, because you can like say your expertise to us, and then we can also help you in figuring out what kind of team like would best fit you.
To answer Cathys question about what I like best as being a PA and working with the BLI, I think for me it's just the sense of community. Like, never have I been part of a group that they just want to see you succeed. And so you can just walk in the office and everyone will ask you, like, how are you doing? They are like genuinely interested in your life and just supporting you. And so it's really an incredible environment to build your leadership skills. And yeah, that's one of the things that I love.
I'm gonna agree with that as well. It's a super fun time. I know we do like a bunch of like messing around too. We went to like get dumplings once all together as a team. There's a bunch of social like bonding events that we do too. I know we went to bowling once to like revel and roll, things like that. So it's not all like just work, if that makes sense. I don't know. The nice thing that I like a lot about the BLI personally is that I feel like our job is to have fun more so. I guess it's cheesy to say now, but I just feel like it's a lot more enjoyable because I've worked my like fair share of campus jobs. Like I tutor Calc 3, I did Calc 4 too. I tutored kids generally, so things like that. But I feel like BLI is the one job that I had the most fun with, and it has like a lot of freedom in that sense too.
And I think it's being like you can really make it what you want it to be. Like I have a lot of ideas, or I think I want to develop like different things, and all I have to do is tell Elizabeth or tell Beth. Like I was on the community outreach / recruitment team last year, and then I jumped onto the marketing team this year because I thought that was something that I wanted to develop. So it's really flexible. Like you just communicate your needs, and what the supervisor and your teammates want to do is really to help you and support you. So that's something that's super cool, I think.
And in case you didn't see the answer to the question on weekly meetings, the weekly meetings are currently from 3 to 3:50 p.m. on Fridays. Oh no, you saw that. Okay. And then how likely, I guess I'll ask this question. How likely is it that people can get hired onto teams that aren't events team or program operations team?
Like onto teams that are already filled up?
Yeah. How likely is it that a position can be made? Because I know certain teams only have like 1 or 2 people, but technically like they could have more people. So as I'm saying, like if you make a decent case for yourself, is it possible to get onto a team that's technically like full per se?
There's definitely an opportunity to cross-train on teams, and ideally PAs will stay in their assigned position for a year and then have the opportunity, like Alice did, to move to another team if you stay on. So that's definitely an option. And we are flexible with the idea of potentially joining a team that might be considered full while also cross-training. So Elizabeth and I will kind of work through what that looks like after we have all the applications in and see who's interested in what and what our current teams look like, and then make those decisions. So that's why we're definitely encouraging general applications as well, but letting us know what you're most interested in.
Perfect. Thank you.
So I guess that just means like if you're really thinking of a team and we didn't say like specifically that team was open, like don't be deterred by it, because like you never know what's going to change between now and then. So like still encourage you to apply even if we didn't specifically say that the team is open.
In that case, I would think that in your cover letter you would just kind of specify which teams are you're most interested in.
Mm-hmm. So I guess tips on that would be tailoring your cover letter towards the team that you're trying to do. And also don't feel hesitant if you don't have like experience with that team kind of thing. And if it's something you're trying to learn more about, kind of just convey that message, I think would be a good idea. I was just going to say, because I didn't really have a lot of experience like planning and coordinating events before I joined the events team, yet here I am. So, okay.
Also, I don't know if we're opening this up, but I remember when I applied for the first position, I had someone, I think it was my peer facilitator, to look over my cover letter just because I wasn't sure. So if like that's something that you want, like feel free to email it to me or any other person. I'm sure they're all willing, or just find your peer facilitator, like someone whom you think will give you a good guidance on the cover letter. Do you guys have a team that you're thinking of, or are you guys all thinking about general application?
I was looking at like events or program operations, or also like the community one, but I guess that one isn't hiring right now. But really just like any of them I'm interested in.
Well,
We do a lot of work cross teams. So whichever team you end up on, there is a lot of collaborative work, especially when it comes to like putting on an event.
Yeah. You can also just ask other members if they want help with anything, and then use that experience to then move to that team later if you'd like to do that as well. It's all pretty fun. I mean, like, because in the end, all of the teams work together so much because there's only like 10 of us or so, and we meet at least every week. And when we're working, we're almost normally always working together at the same time. So you'll see like a good group of like 6 of us at almost all times during the week, anytime you go into the BLI office. So it's fun. I just liked it. It's really chill. Plus the living wall is really cool. Oh, any pointers for interviews and how to answer questions?
I would personally just say like speak to your experiences, be authentic, and really share what you're hoping to learn from this experience. As we've mentioned, like this is a huge professional development opportunity. And although we have a ton of fun, I have seriously grown so much, and my resume is like chock full of things that I've learned from this position. And so, yeah, be authentic and just speak from your experiences.
Also, there's like a bunch of like workshops and things that we get access to once you become a staff member, and all of that's shared with a lot of with all the staff. So if you want to go to any of these kinds of like professional development workshops, we have access to that too. Yeah, and I think just like with interviews and things like that, have fun with it, because if you come across as like a personable person, that's one of the things that I think we look for a lot too. Because in the end, it's more so, or we're looking for like, will you fit together well with the team, rather than do you have experience with this kind of like task? Because in the end, we're going to teach you how to do that if you don't already know. So it's not as much of a big deal if you don't have experience. It's more so like, are you a good person?